Hello, I'm Cian, and today we will be talking about leadership. I have a very wide experience when it comes to leadership since I was elementary. I have been awarded DIWA Leadership Awards when I was in elementary. In high school, I have been part of clubs. Part of International Fellowship of Evangelical Students, an international organization, and has been a college representative also. So I'm really quite familiar with leadership. I have been more exposed to leadership when I work in a BPO industry. I found it not just a job, but a passion, an accountability. My type of leadership when you are exposed to a lot of people, I think the best the best leadership skill that you should have is always always listen. The ability to listen. In psychology, listening has more activity than you are talking. Thus, you are engaged more into something when you listen. So when you listen, you analyze, you think critically, you you think of responses, and your brain really works when you listen. Especially in BPO, listening is very important because without listening, you cannot empathize. Without listening, you cannot give what your people needs. So listening is really the key. Communication. You cannot communicate when you don't listen. So that's why listening is very important. So without listening, you won't be understanding. And in an organization where you work with a lot of people, understanding communication is very important. So listening is the top of the line when you communicate with others. I have learned listening to a very good leader, which is my previous manager in the BPO industry. She is Miss Janet Sanchez. Well, she's one of the best leaders that I saw who have practiced listening. But she opened my mind into reading books, and I have found Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela is a president in South Africa. So Nelson was known for his listening skills. He listened with humility, empathize with people, and patience. That's how he always addressed his people. So Mandela's leadership extends beyond political power. His focus to listening to people's need and fostering unity through active dialogue made him a very respected person, not just in a community, but he became a very admired worldwide figure because of his listening skill. And when I was a leader, that was my vision for myself. I told myself I don't just want to be somebody who responds. I wanted somebody who listens and responds. So my manager gifted me a book. It's called the forgot what it's called, but it's about the dysfunctions of the workplace, and that's where the first time I met Nelson Mandela. And I got this book from the library, How to Talk to Anyone. It was written by Lael Londes. I have this book also. It was a gift from my manager. However, that book was left at home in the province. Luckily, we have it in the library. So, How to Talk with Anyone discusses how Nelson Mandela critically listens to people. So, It's not just Nelson Mandela, but a lot of leaders. But Nelson Mandela really was really a highlight there. That's the model that I have been following. But as a leader, you still have a lot of things to work out. As for me, my response needed to be worked out. I really know how to listen, but how to respond is something that I need to practice, to think critically of what I am listening to, and not just to give people um a coin, or not just to give people my sentiments, but to give them what they really need when they talk. When somebody talks, somehow they need, it's either they need empathy, they need comfort, they need um assurance. That's what we need to know. So everything starts with listening, and that's my leadership style. A leader that always listen, and a leader should always listen. That's all. Thank you.